Hi, my name is Uzma and I am a transformational coach. And if you have been following me, you'll know that I've been doing some videos last week. And so far, I've covered topics like the four levels of consciousness. Then we talked about what is transformation and how it happens. And then the third video was about how happiness happens. And then we talked about the benefits of practicing gratitude and how to practice gratitude. And then we spoke about your life, your vision, so having some kind of a vision. And then today I want to talk about setting goals and what are the most important areas in which we should be setting goals for our lives. So before I do that, I just want to talk to people about, get you thinking about what are the main reasons why people don't get to a stage where they're living an extraordinary life, where they're doing what their heart desires. And three main reasons why people don't live a life that could be completely extraordinary is number one, they don't even realize that it's possible. Number two is because they're so stuck and busy in the treadmill of life. They are in the rat race, and every day is just so busy that they haven't got the time to think about what else they can do and how else they can live. And number three, it is because they follow a completely and utterly outdated definition of success. So go to school, get grades, high grades, do higher education, get your title, get your money, be financially stable, have a huge amount in your bank account, have a successful career. And that is the definition of what success actually is. But I think it's really important for us to realize that in this day and age, in the time of information, in the time of especially with what we're going on, look what's going on right now with COVID-19 and how we're kind of all stuck inside. The world's come to a stop. It's very, very important for us to stop as well and really think about how we think and how we come to decisions that we've made so far in life, and where we are and how do we want to change anything. Are we living the best life we can be living? Are we doing everything we wanted to do? Are we actually satisfied with our life? And the only way we can do that is by really looking at what kind do we have a vision in the first place, and really get focused on what kind of different areas you should be having a vision on. And usually people only focused on two main categories that that they think they succeeding on. And one is career, like if you've got a great title, and second one is financial. And if you've got these two conquered, then you think that life's great, and you kind of get stuck into that race, and then it's very, very difficult to look outside of it. But it's really important to understand that there is far more to life and feeling happy, because even if somebody hits the billionaire mark, still you find that there are people who are feeling so down in themselves, and they're still feeling like something's missing. If it was all about money and career, why would those people feel like that? Why would people with so much money and success ever think about committing suicides? With so many different examples of people who've taken their own life because they're in such a dark place internally. And it is because the other areas of their life have been completely neglected. So there is so much else to be thinking about. We need to be thinking about being fulfilled in several different areas in our lives. Is our health and fitness right? Is our intellectual life, is that being fulfilled? Are we growing as a person? Is our emotional state and as emotional life, is that okay? Are we stable in that respect? What's our character like? What are our values? Are we living up to our values? What's our spiritual life like? That's so important to be in touch with your inner self and know yourself enough to have the spirituality. What about love and relationships and people that surround you? How do you feel around them? How do they make you feel? How do you feel around them? And having a general overview, a life vision and quality of life. And then obviously, of course, the career comes into it, your financial life comes into it, your social life, your friendship circles obviously comes into it. If you're a parent, that's a very big part of it as well. So there's so many different areas that one needs to be looking at in order for us to feel like we are actually having an experience of life where it's fulfilling a vast amount of areas, rather than just one or two areas which we think that that we feel successful in. And it's not easy to break that cycle. It's not easy. Like once you're in that rat race of, okay, I've got a career and I'm working really, really hard, and the harder you work, the more obviously busy you're getting, and the less time you have to think about anything else. And that's why people get stuck in a very mediocre life. And like I said, this is why they can't see that they can actually even have another life, which can be completely extraordinary. Because breaking that chain and getting out of those thoughts, it takes a tremendous amount of energy. It takes a vision in itself for you to actually start thinking outside of the box and think, can I actually achieve something else? It takes foresight and it takes effort. And it, one of the biggest things is it takes consciousness. You're really having to think about how your brain works, which thoughts are coming in, which thoughts you're going to allow in, which thoughts you're actually going to stop because they're not serving you. I've mentioned this before. So but even having the knowledge that you actually can live another life, which is going to be far more satisfactory, a lot of people still can't do it. And the reason they can't do it is because it takes a huge amount of action and strain, because growing means pain. Because I mean, even if you think about physical growth in terms of going to the gym, when muscles rip, I don't know a lot about muscles ripping, but I've heard that when you've gone to the gym and you've worked out so hard that your muscles are ripping to a point where it's painful, and that's when you grow into having bigger muscles. And that's just an example, but I'm just saying for anything, when you're growing it, you've got to feel that stretch. You've got to feel like you're actually going out of your comfort zone. And if if it's too easy, and if every day is the same, then know that you're not growing. And for you to be growing, you've got to feel that stretch. You've got to feel that strain. And I think that's a really important feeling to have in order for you to carry on growing. So how do we get to a stage where we experience the life to the fullest? How do we actually start to really enjoy and thrive in our lives? I think it's really important for ourselves to ask some really important questions from ourselves and be really, really honest about how we set goals and how do we move forward from where we are if we are wanting to change our lives. And there are 3 areas which you really should be looking at in order to answer these questions, and then inshallah you should be able to get some kind of an answer at the end of that. So the first area is for you to write down all the experiences, right? All the experiences that you... So looking at different experiences you want to have, take time out to write down everything you want to experience in your life. We talked about, in the last video, we talked about experiences, the feeling you want to have, and contributions, the help and meaning you want to give to other people, and growth as well. So we're keeping setting goals in the same category and looking at how we can actually start to write down what kind of experiences we have. So first category is experiences. So if you look at experiences and write down a whole long list of different experiences you want to have, so whether it's to do with relationships, whether it's to do with you traveling around the world, or speaking on stage, or writing a book, or whatever it is, that kind of different experiences that you want to have, you would write them down. So that's the first area. Second area would be about growth goals. And this is not growth in just sort of your mindset, because obviously that changes everything once your mind is different. But then when you're looking at growth, you look at many different areas of your life. Like I mentioned a few earlier, but your health and fitness, your intellectual, your emotional, your character, love, finances, your career, your social life, your friendship circles, and things like that. So and obviously your quality of life and overall life vision. So once you've broken them down into these areas, you write down each one of those areas and what kind of score yourself where you are right now and where you'd like to be, and how then have a plan on how you would go up into that into the score. And then the third one is about the kind of experiences you want to have within contribution. So what do you want to contribute into this world, and then write down how because giving is one of the most amazing things, and there are studies that show that human beings are hardwired to contribute. We want to help others. When, you know, even if you look at the situation we're living in right now in COVID-19, when you go out, out for shopping, for example, you will see that a lot more people are willing to be more supportive. You know, you get more smiles, people are much more friendlier, because when things aren't right, people want to help, people want to be more caring. And that's just human nature, that's just who we are. So it's not, giving makes us happier than receiving. So contributing is a very, very important area to cover, and that's why you've got to write down things that you want to contribute to the world, and how, have dreams about how you want to make an impact in this world. And once you've written all of these down, then you have much better idea on what kind of things, what kind of goals you can set in each of these areas. And that in overall will give you an overall kind of vision of life and what kind of a life you want to have. I hope this was somewhat helpful. Again, if anybody's got any questions, you're more than welcome to directly message me. Also, if you find this useful, by all means share or tag anyone who else you think might find this useful too. So I will be doing another video again tomorrow, and look out for that. See you again soon. Bye.